Steve would announce the question of the week, whatever it was. Do you think halitosis is contagious? And now we'll get the answers from men on the street. And here's our first, your name, sir. And Louis and I would say, I'm Gordon Hathaway. Hi-ho, Steve Areno. And he would do his uniquely conceived character, which was a cross between a Madison Avenue advertising executive and a fop out of the French Revolution. And then we come to the next man on the street, who Don Knotts, and who would have a different name each week. But he'd be very nervous and apprehensive and invariably, hard put upon to remain in frame. And we found Noop by accident. Instead of saying no, I said to Don, I was directing the show then too, is can we find another way of saying no? Because it's got to be a right response to, are you nervous? And Noop came out of that. And with Tom, I had the idea that I hear my hard R, my New York speech pattern. We had the idea that we'd have a man who was so terrified to be on television and be facing a camera that he atrophied. He was totally incapable of speaking. So a simple thing like your name, sir. And the pain and anguish. And then the next question was upon him. So that they were so well etched and so beautifully performed, they worked. And then we realized these three men had enormous rapport as performers and off stage. They liked each other, they respected each other. And so we started to create departments for them. The Bureau of Standards became one, where there were three different scientific experts, and the underlying theme was they hated each other. They resented being on the same panel, but there was money involved and prestige. So they somehow would tolerate each other for the limited period of time they were on the air. Of course, you could sense the disapproval of each other, and that was part of the fun. So it didn't matter what we were testing. It was the relationship. I remember we did Roth wine, and the joke was the grapes of Roth. Play on words. I'm not a great fan of puns, but somehow that one worked. And the Strook stapler, and a great deal of pain. Louis, whatever Louis did with testing, he'd end up hurting himself, to the glee of the other two. And Louis was very skilled with pain. He was the second position to Gleason. Yes. So that was that, the Bureau of Standards. We then had Huntley and Brinkley had a weekly news show. And we had Winkley, Dinkley, Blinkley, and what, I can't remember the same. But we went, the same format went around, and now you, Chet, now you, with their names. And of course, none of them were well informed, and they were all confused, and the remotes were always not working. But yet we went through it pridefully, as if we had just dispensed the most important information one could receive. Then we had Steve did the sports commentator, the overzealous sports commentator, and then we created a marvelous thing for him, the question man. You gave the answer, he made up the question. We reversed a program that had been known as the Answer Man, where he had answers for every question.